Welcome to Release to Results. It's our series on the letting go through the Course in Miracles workbook. And yesterday we were looking at how our mind is a part of God's and we are very holy. Today we're going to be looking at how that holiness actually envelops everything we see. And we're sinless. If we're holy, we're sinless. Now, this is one of the concepts we'll find as we go through A Course in Miracles, that all these concepts of error and sin and wrong and all of that stuff is in the past. It's not here now. It doesn't exist. And what is here now, what does exist, is our holiness. And this holiness, we take it everywhere we go. And it is enveloping every person we see, everything we see, so on and so forth. Our holiness is enveloping everything we see. So, could you allow yourself to bring up and allow up any resisting that holiness, your holiness, what you are, as we go through today's exercise? We're just going to be looking around our space and allowing our gaze to land upon things and allowing our holiness to envelop it. And notice if there's any resisting or holding back that holiness. So, could you allow yourself a moment to just sit with your eyes closed and repeating the idea of today? My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness envelops everything I see. And opening your eyes, allowing your gaze to fall upon anything. My holiness envelops that. And is there any resisting that being enveloped in holiness? There's this everyday item or whatever you're looking at. Is there anything other than holiness in that? Does it seem like that? And that's okay. Could you allow yourself to resist that being enveloped in holiness? Would you allow that resistance to come up and move? And could you let go of any resistance and allow it to be enveloped in your holiness? Would you allow this thing you see to be enveloped in your holiness? And letting your gaze move to something else in your space. Anything's fine. And lighting upon it with your vision, with your sight. My holiness envelops that, whatever it is. And could you notice any holding back or any resisting, any refusing to envelop that in your holiness? And without judging or moralizing, noticing whatever is coming up for you, you can use that and allow the energy behind the thoughts to come up and move. Any resistance, any feeling, other than enveloping this in holiness, your holiness. Would you allow that up? Let it move. And could you surrender any resistance, anything other than enveloping this with holiness? Would you surrender any resistance to your holiness enveloping what you see, that thing? When could you surrender and allow my holiness envelops that thing, whatever it is? My holiness envelops everything I see, and allowing yourself to look upon something else, anything. My holiness envelops that. And is there any sense of anything other than your holiness enveloping that? Just noticing whatever comes up for you, that's the thing to use. Could you allow it up? The feeling, could you let it move? And could you release that feeling and have your holiness envelop that? Would you release my holiness envelops that? Even that. When could you release? My holiness envelops everything I see. And allowing your eyes to close, just repeating the idea of the day. My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness envelops everything I see. And opening your eyes, allowing your gaze to fall upon something in the space. My holiness envelops that, whatever it is. And could you notice anything other than seeming like enveloping this thing in your holiness? It's just that thing. Could you notice any resistance to enveloping everything you see, even that thing, with holiness, your holiness? Could you allow it up, whatever it feels like, be resisting, enveloping this in your holiness? Could you feel that more? And could you let go? Would you let go? When could you let go? My holiness envelops that too. And could you allow yourself the idea of the day, my holiness envelops everything I see, and what's something you see in your space? Yeah, that thing. And could you notice any resistance or anything other than enveloping this in holiness? If it's there. And without making right or wrong of it, could you just notice any energy resisting enveloping this thing in your holiness? Any denial of holiness enveloping this thing? And could you open up and allow that energy behind any thoughts to come up, to move, be felt, noticed? And could you release that energy, that resistance, and envelop even this in your holiness? Maybe yes, maybe no. Either way is fine. Would you, if you could, though, release this resistance to enveloping this thing in your holiness? When could you release and envelop even this in your holiness? For your holiness envelops everything you see. Just an idea, just a suggestion. Noticing what comes up for you. And could you allow yourself to look upon something else in your space? My holiness envelops that thing, naming whatever it is. My holiness envelops that. And is there any holding back or resisting enveloping that in holiness? Could you notice what it feels like to be resisting or holding back, enveloping this object in your holiness? It's okay. Could you allow that? And could you surrender any resistance, any holding back? Would you surrender any resistance, any holding back? When could you surrender and envelop even this in your holiness? My holiness envelops everything I see. And as you go through the day today, you might pause a few times to do this exercise and do just this, closing your eyes. My holiness envelops everything I see. Just repeating it to yourself, eyes closed. My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness envelops everything I see. And then allowing the eyes to open and and allowing your holiness, my holiness, to envelop the things I see in my space. And you might notice as you're practicing this, anything that's coming up other than this envelopment of holiness in everything, and allow up any of this energy that's other than that. Sit with it, feel it, and let it go. And allow your holiness to envelop everything you see. We're keeping on with this series, 8:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time every day. And we have two other live releasing letting go sessions every day, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Love to have you join us at releasetoresults.com. It's totally free for 14 days, along with a whole hundreds of releasing session replays. And I'll even send you, if you're in North America, the three books that we use in our mastery groups: Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, Transcending the Levels of Consciousness, The Stairway of Enlightenment by the Sedona mystic, Dr. David R. Hawkins, and The Sedona Method by Hale Dwoskin. We use these books in a 2-hour mastery session every week, one for each of the books. And there's even more. Come and join us at releasetoresults.com. And what results will you realize when you release anything other than that? All the counter energy. I'd be happy to see you in the live sessions and as we continue this Course in Miracles series. Thanks so much for watching.